Anyway, I'm Aaron.
Nice to meet you, Aaron. I'm Skye. Sorry you don't get Tim Fowers, the famous Tim,
No, no,
but
no worries, man. I'm thankful that you had time.
okay.
I've been playing the solo in preparation, just to do my content for it. But I felt like when Tim offered, I was like, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and take him up on that offer. I could always, in case I'm doing something wrong, because that is a thing. I do make mistakes, obviously. So just a little bit of background about
Yeah.
you and the game, all that good stuff. If you don't mind talking about yourself a little bit.
Oh no, not at all. I'll be a little shy, but that's okay. We'll fight through it. But yeah, so I'm Skye Larsen. I am the co-designer of this game with Tim Fowers, and we've been working together for a good bit, for a couple years. I've been helping out as on a freelance basis, just helping with development, rules, and things like that. So, but I brought this idea for a sequel to Paperback, a solo-focused sequel,
Okay.
and I brought that to Tim, and he's thought it was cool, so we kept running with it.
Cool. I have unfortunately not played a paperback. Hopefully, I will soon. Just full. I'm familiar with what it is. I have not played it yet, but when I heard about this game, I was like, solo game with words. I like the sound of
Yeah.
that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I heard you'd like word games, so
I do. I
so
do
that
quite a bit.
was we were hoping you might be interested because of that. So yeah, the original Paperback was very much kind of like a just straight up no frills deck building meets word games,
hmm
where you just your deck of cards is letters, and so that helps you spell words, and spelling words would give you points, money essentially to buy cooler cards, cooler letters with special abilities like draw more cards, and so it kind of played out a lot like Dominion, but as a word game. And so the Paperback Adventures is kind of adding an additional layer to the deck building and word building with this kind of roguelike setup where you are facing escalating enemies that are randomized, and you're acquiring new loot after each enemy so that you can kind of grow more and more powerful as you fight more and more powerful enemies. So that's kind of the base idea behind the roguelike aspect of the game.
And it definitely is one where, because I've lost and let me start again.
Yep. Oh yeah, and that's the other part of roguelikes. Yeah, you get as far as you can get. Hopefully you get to the end, but if not, yeah, it's you start over and hopefully get cooler loot or the right combos to pull everything off.
So in terms of setup, well, I guess
Yeah.
the first thing I have to decide is if whether or not I'm using the robot or the damsel. I have not. I've been playing with the robot because that's the first character I was introduced to
Okay.
with Tim. So, do you recommend one more than the other, or
Um,
negligible?
I mean, it's up to you. I think they're both good. I think they both work pretty well for new players. So if it's just more down to like you want to, just keep going on with the robot, or if you want to try out something new with the damsel.
I think I'm going to try the damsel. Why not?
Cool.
That just seems to make sense. All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
put the robots cards away. What is your preferred layout?
We're watching other people to see what their preferred layouts are.
Okay. I
But
thought you gonna flip it back on me. Like, what would you do? Okay.
no, I tend to keep the deck. So you have your starter deck versus your growth deck, right? So
Yeah,
I
the
like to
starter
keep
deck has some flags on it. Correct.
correct.
All right,
Yeah,
let
and
me
it should
try.
be 10 cards.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There you go. So yeah, I like to keep, my actual deck just right there under the character sheet, and the discard pile next to the deck, obviously. And I like to keep kind of the enemy above where I'm going to be kind of playing out my word and mixing the letters around, just so I can kind of quickly glance between the two.
All right, I'm going to put the two bosses, who are the Mummy and the Buccaneer, kind of up here.
Yep, sounds great.
And I think the rule said you're supposed to shuffle the enemies and then you draw the one from the bottom.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't know if that I'll be making it to the bosses, so I'm just gonna put them to the side right now.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Wow. We'll see what happens. I believe in you.
So I'll draw one in a moment. Well, I'll just draw it now. So from the bottom. Oh yeah, I got beaten by the pesky suitor before.
Yeah, he's definitely the trickiest, I think. In the
the 5 HP he has throws you off because 5 HP, but then he heals up at the end of every turn. So
yeah. So it's essentially that puzzle of how do I do 5 damage in one turn.
Okay, so items here, and then I guess I should be placing my default.
Yeah, I tend to keep the items to the left. Yeah.
So the toxic dart, the basic
and
buckler.
the basic buckler. So that could be a little confusing. So the toxic dart and the smoke bomb, those actually just get shuffled into the items deck.
Oh.
So they're options that are only the damsel can use, but they only come up like if you happen to draw them.
Okay.
And then you kind of have those 2 initial starting items with the dagger and the buckler.
So let's put the items there. Core items and reactive core item. Where should I be placing the?
I keep those. Again, just kind of to the left. Because you're gonna, especially with the damsel, like that venom vial. Right now it's on the upgraded side. You'll want to get that flipped over. Because all your core items, those are kind of like how your character works, and those are upgradable. When you defeat a boss, you get to upgrade one of them. So.
Okay. And
so I find with the damsel especially, like that venom vial is kind of really key to making her work. So you want to keep that close by.
The venom vial, and it doesn't cost any mana at all, or.
So the venom vial has the mana cost is actually in that kind of chart on the card itself. So basically, the more hex counters you get onto the enemy, the more damage it will do, but it also costs more mana.
Got it. All right, so these are all the.
Yeah, those are reward cards.
I put those up with the MacGuffins. Those are going to be titled something different, though. Ultimately, correct?
The reward cards or
the MacGuffins? Are they?
No, we're going with MacGuffin.
Okay, maybe there was something else that Tim said that it was changing from that to MacGuffin then.
Oh yeah, relic. We used to call them relics, just as kind of a stand-in. But yeah, we kind of went with MacGuffins to just get that full, kind of humorous, poking fun at stories and how they work type of thing.
Okay, and what about the wild cards?
Okay, so you can keep the upgraded one just available, but kind of out of sight or whatever, because that's only if you choose to upgrade it later.
Okay.
And just because the wild card has a backside already, we couldn't do the double-sided upgrade. So you have to pull out a new card if you upgrade that one. So the wild card, that kind of is another core item, and that's just a wild card that you can always, use a wild letter in your word every turn, no matter what. And if you don't happen to use that extra letter to spell a word, you get mana instead at the end of the turn. That wild is just kind of a bonus wild because some items might let you also add another letter to your word. So.
Okay, when I played before, I think I played with the wild card incorrectly. I kind of felt like I was using it like on the fly to gain a mana to do an attack right then, whereas I should have been applying it after the fact for the next turn?
Yeah, that's how we're gonna end up. We're kind of in the middle of trying to fix that up a little bit because it has caused some confusion. So we're actually gonna turn that wild card core item into just a core card or something, and it won't kind of be an item anymore, and hopefully it'll clear up how it works. But the intention, yeah, for now is to take the mana at the end of the turn. So, because that's where we want the gameplay to be, just so it's a little less confusing when you can add mana and when you can't.
Okay. All right. So, HP, the pesky suitor. Let me make sure. How well can you see it? I don't know if I need to.
If you hold it up, yeah, you can read the stuff. So, yeah.
So the pesky suitor, he only does. A lot of enemies have multiple attacks, like the stage 2 has multiples, but for the stage 1, it's awkward flirtations. I deal 5 damage and then heal up to 5 HP. So he's going to deal 5 damage and then heal himself up. So you have to pretty much defeat him in one fell swoop. And this little chevron will not be moving because he only has the one move.
Yep.
And the purple is for mana. I'm sorry, purple is for hexes. Orange is for no, that's for boon, right?
Yep. The negative and positive.
So
hexes and boons.
And my health is 20 or 15.
Yep.
Okay, I remember it was 20. But my mana, hex, and boon all start at 0. So I start with nothing.
Yeah.
I do get the eye because the eye in suitor, right? Is that the case? I get the eye to use.
Yep.
So do I mix that in with my deck, or it's just available?
Yeah. So the eye just is kind of like the wild card is just there and available for you to use if you want. So you can just use the card to help you plan. But the eye does have a top card ability if it's a top card, and you can fatigue it if you do make it your top card. Otherwise, it just is kind of always there, ready to be used.
Got it. All right. I draw 4 cards, I believe.
Yep.
And let's see what we got here. 2, 3, 4.
Well, there's all your vowels.
Yeah, and an S. Oh, man. Okay. So for those who are watching and trying to understand how the game works, I'm going to say stuff, and then when I'm completely wrong, Skye's going to say, no, actually it goes this way. And I'll shut up and listen to him because he's one of the designers and he would know, right? That sound fair, Skye?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
So each card has abilities, attacks, shields. The blue lightning bolt is mana on either side. So you're either playing cards, getting everything on the right side or the left side. And the card that's on top is the one whose ability you're going to actually use.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with an A, 2 I's, and E. I mean, I can spell the word C, but that's kind of all I got.
Yeah, and you do have the wild and the Val if you need to use them. Obviously, that Val isn't too helpful at the moment because you've already got plenty.
Let's see. But with a character like the pesky suitor, I'm probably better off preparing. If I can't defeat him in just right now, I'm probably better off making sure I don't take as much damage because he's going to do 5 damage. So in which case, I'm probably going to be playing cards on the left side. So the left side gives me 4 shields and a mana. You ignore the one here. And because I guess the A will let me gain 3 mana, whereas the S would let me, well, I can't do that because then it would be the other way around. So I really want to try the Venom Vial, but that's not really possible at this point. So, oh well.
Yeah.
So this kind of looks like the best thing I could do. I don't.
And I think that's pretty solid because it is going to give you like a bunch of mana to work with, and maybe that lets you use your poison dagger or your buckler later. So that could be good.
Okay, so I'm spelling the word C, which will give me a single mana because of the icon here, but then the A will let me get an additional 3, so I have 3 mana. And there's no marker for your shield. I'm just remembering that I can block up to 4 for its attack worth. Now, because the A is what I'm playing, that gets put into the discard.
So the A goes to the fatigue pile, where you don't get to use it again for the rest of the battle. So your deck is constantly getting smaller,
to the side there. All right, and the I did nothing with, so that just goes into...
That goes to the discard pile.
Yeah, so that's discard, fatigue, discard. We can use the word fatigue, right, Skye? We're not going to have, the mic's going to bust the windows. You can't say that, right?
Yeah, I think that should be okay.
Okay.
And then, and he did the 1 damage to you from the... Yeah, so just 1.
So now I'm at 19 because the pesky suitor says I deal 5 damage and then heal back up to 5. I did no damage to him at all, so he's just going to stay at 5. It says here in yellow, suffocating presence. You lose 1 mana whenever I attack. So does that mean I really go down to 3?
You would, but on the other hand, you also didn't use your wild card, so it kind of cancels out. So you'll go up 1 from the wild card, but you'll also lose 1 from the suitor, so you end up at 4.
So I pretty much stay at 4 then.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Let's get another 4 cards out here and see what's... Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, luckily, you have those the Val and the wild cards.
Thank God for that, right? Oh, boy.
And, so now...
Can I spell Tinder?
Oh, wow. Hey, that's a word.
Let's see. I don't know if that's going to be enough to...
That's pretty good, though, because, you got the wild, too.
This
is like what we call this is called the prep phase, where you're planning and kind of planning out your word, and it's during this phase before you officially lock in your word. That's when you have to use items, just for people listening. So you always use items before what's called the clash phase, which is where you kind of have that. You hit the enemy hits you back. And the order's kind of very specific there.
Now, because I play with the robot more often, I think one of the things he had by default, I think, gave you an attack because I'm at 4. If I could get one more hit, I could get him down to 0.
Yeah, and that's where you maybe want to look. I know he's so close. That might be where you want to look like at the items and see if because you did get that mana up. So maybe there's some items that can kind of just get you that little bit of chip damage you need to finish him.
The poison dagger adds 2 hexes. The basic buckler gives me 3 block, but I don't see anything. Oh, let me see dashing boots. If an enemy attack would do 3 or less damage. Yeah. Oh, 3 or less damage after blocks. Remove a boon and it deals 0 instead.
Yeah, so that one's more defensive, but then the Venom Vial is kind of offensive. So as long as you have hex counters with the Venom Vial, that can deal extra damage to the enemy.
Let me see. The enemy loses HP ignoring blocks equal to the number of hex counters on them, but they don't have any.
Yeah. But then you do have the poison dagger.
Oh, okay. So if I spend...
So you can use multiple items. You can chain them together as long as you have the mana to do it.
Okay, so if I spend 2 mana to use the poison dagger, I add 2 hexes.
Correct.
To the pesky suitor, which in turn lets me use the venom vial, which, what does that do? Equal to the number of... Oh, loses HP equal to the number of hexes on them. So 4 here, 2 for that. That would be 6.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's gonna knock him out, and then that's gonna trigger the stun as well, which is nice. So when you flip an enemy over to its second stage, they get stunned, and that means they just don't do anything that turn.
Oh, I just realized.
What?
I didn't have to spend any mana at all because the T was on top. I didn't even look at the T. The T says add 2 hex. So technically, close your eyes, Scott. I'm gonna take my mana back.
Okay, and we're actually gonna rewind again because so the T, you can still do that, but That's where the ordering is kind of important here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use all your items, including your core item.
Mm-hmm.
That has to happen before you actually kind of lock in your word and go to the clash phase. So you're using all your items first. So you would have had to use that poison dagger because the hex counters from the T aren't showing up yet. But afterwards, your attack still goes off. So you're still going to do, gain your mana, and you're still going to do your top card abilities. So you're still going to add those extra hex counters.
So now the pesky suitor will be up to 4 then?
Yeah.
But on stage 2?
Yep.
Okay. Because I did 6, does that mean they're now at 4 for health?
Well, he actually has 15 in the second stage.
It does say that. Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, but the damage does bleed over, so he would be at 14.
At 14. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Teague is fatigued.
Correct. And then you had probably some mana in there somewhere. You split to the right, correct? So.
Well, no, I still used the 2 for the poison dagger.
Yeah, I was just saying you generated mana from your icons in your word, probably.
Oh, I'm not even paying attention to that.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
I think
important.
you got so excited to knock out that pesky suitor.
You know what? I did. I really did. So I know that's not going to give me anything. Okay, that's 3. So I'm up to 5.
Yeah.
Not bad. That's fatigued. These are in the discard. Yep. And then I have 2 left, and then I'd start getting into the regular deck then, correct? Or
no? Back to so you'll flip over your discard pile over there on the right, and then you'll shuffle that together, and that'll become your deck again.
So you
don't get the growth cards until you get rewards, and then those kind of go into your actual working deck. So.
Okay, so I'm at 19.
Yeah, so for now. So for now, draw those 2 that are in your deck still, and then you shuffle your discard pile, and you'll draw 2 more because you always draw 4.
Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird combo.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. There's some that definitely has some good shield, some good protection on it, but
true.
Let's see.
So what's the suitor doing this turn? Because now his actions have swapped up a little bit now that we flipped him over. Right?
So I guess I do have a question about stun. So
sure.
Is he still in the stun? So do I get to attack him this time? He doesn't respond, or he just doesn't respond just because of the attack from last time? That's the stun.
Yeah, that was the stun. And so now he resets back to his first action on the second stage.
Okay.
So he'll be doing whatever that chevron.
It's a wounded retort, and this is ideal 5 damage. That's what he'll be doing. Well, after I take my turn, yeah. And it also says suffocating presence. You lose 1 mana whenever I attack.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of lost what I was doing.
Yeah, so he's gonna deal that 5 damage to you. So yeah, we're trying to time out a word, and you also have a bunch of mana, so you could maybe look into using some of your items as well. Since those items, you have to use those before the actual clash phase where you attack. So I have to do that.
I have to do that before I even start spelling any words, correct?
True. You can start planning it out because that might help you know what you want to do, but you have to use the items before you actually kind of lock in what your word is.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 mana, so I'm going down to 3 to use the poison dagger to get him up to 6.
Okay, that's looking pretty good.
And then because he's up to 6. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do, so he'll take 6 damage because he has 6 hexes. But in terms of the mana cost, it's going to cost me 3 mana to do that much damage. But I have 3 total. So I'm spending everything I have to do 6 damage to him.
Correct. Yeah. And hopefully you'll generate some mana, this turn with your word. But.
So that's everything I have. So that puts him down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm spelling the word to do even more damage.
Yep.
Oh boy. I'm not really sure what word I can spell. Well, I can use the wild card too.
Yeah, that might help.
I'm not sure what word I can really spell here. I guess I could spell a word like bash or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
So the question is, do I do 3 more damage or do I can either do 3 more damage or protect myself with 2 shields.
True. Yeah, and you might want to look at like what the top card would be in either situation too, because if a top card, is useful, or maybe like in that situation it's not going to do anything. So
the top card would probably be, if I'm spelling a word like bash, top card would be the B, which is draw 1 more card next hand. That's pretty useful.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do that. I'll do 3 more damage. So now he's down to 5, which really means after the next turn, well, I'll get to do more damage, and after that turn, he'll heal up 5. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so the B is going to get fatigued there. I don't gain any mana. I don't gain a mana because I used
from that, but you do get the mana from your B and your H, the icons.
Why do I keep forgetting that? Oh yeah, I didn't use the I, so yeah, I do get 2 for that. So that's 2. Okay, that's cool. All right, he's gonna do 5 damage to me, and then I lose a mana because he attacks me. So I'm really down to 1.
Yeah.
And he's going to take me down to 14.
Okay.
All right, but I do get to draw 2 cards because of the B.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 1 additional card.
Up to 5 cards, yeah.
So I'm basically just shuffling these 3 cards and drawing one of them.
Exactly, yeah.
Exciting times. All right, let's see.
Let's see what we can do with 5 cards here.
I could spell hinder.
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
How much damage would that do, though?
That's looking pretty good.
Let's see.
Yeah, hopefully it's enough to finish him off.
All right, 1, 2, 3. That's 5. He's at 5.
Yep. I think that's going to do it because it's important, the order. Like your word goes off first and then his attack. So.
Yeah. Critical hit at 3. That won't leave out. That's moot because he'll be dead. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what sound the pesky suitor makes when defeated, but that's the sound I decided to make.
That's about right. I think you nailed it.
Was that what you had in mind, Skye? That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So does the H being fatigued?
It won't matter because now you kind of get all those cards back for your next battle.
Okay.
So keep
but I don't gain any of the mana and stuff because the battle's over, right?
So after every battle, your health stays the same, but your mana, your hex counters, and your boon counters all go back down to 0. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll draw from the basic enemy rewards. We'll just draw one of those at random. There are the boss ones too. I don't know if you separated those. So
I put the boss ones on the bottom. Should I just shuffle them up?
Yeah, so you can just leave the boss ones out and draw from the bottom or whatever you want to do.
I'll do that. I'll just shuffle them up a little bit, and then I'm not looking. I promise. I'll take one from the bottom, and I can get either side, correct?
True. So you choose which side you want.
Okay, so people can kind of see that.
Yeah, when the shade's not on, you can see it.
So, all right. This says draw 3 cards and choose 1 to replace a non-penalty card. These are penalty cards. I don't have any of those yet.
Yep. And so those are what you're drawing from that kind of big stack of cards there. Is you're drawing 3 from there and then choosing 1 to switch out with your deck.
Okay. Upgrade. Okay, so drawing 3, choosing 1 to replace. I can upgrade it. Then I draw 2 items and choose 1 to keep. Or I can draw 2 cards, choose 1 to replace a non-penalty card, heal 6 HP. I kind of feel like I don't know, because it's the difference between like, do I want an item or do I want to be healed? That's sort of the question.
Yeah, it's kind of a, do I want the future power with all the extra stuff, or do I just want to make sure I stay alive type of thing?
It's a tough choices. I mean, how often do you don't get a chance to heal very frequently, though?
Not often. The robot can heal more thanks to his repair panel, but
The damsel can't.
The damsel doesn't really have it built in, so it is few and far between. You do heal no matter what. After every boss fight, you heal a bunch of HP. So
I'm gonna go with draw 2 cards, choose one to replace. And the health. I'm going to go back up to 20 there. I guess I should have shuffled these, huh?
Yeah, you can just give them a quick shuffle.
All right, don't judge my shuffling because I'm not great.
Hey, you're better than me, and I'm not just being humble. I'm a terrible shuffler.
I've gotten better as my affinity for board games and card games has grown in the last couple of years. I've gotten better, but my children make fun of me. I don't know if you ever watched My Hero Academia.
I know of it. I haven't watched it yet, though. I need to.
Well, all the characters have they have quirks, and they make fun of me by saying that my quirk is like the form of my shuffling is fine the way it looks, but then like they always say use your quirk, which means I shuffle, but then all the same card. Like they'll watch me. It looks great, completely ineffective. All the same cards are next to each other. We're drawing 6 of the same thing.
Yeah, what's going on here?
So they started chanting, use your quirk, use your quirk. It's like, okay, all right, go to bed. So, all right. Oh, gosh.
True.
A V and a Y.
Yeah. So that V is a rare. It is a hard letter to use, no doubt, but it will usually have kind of stronger icons or a stronger ability.
This means it's a rare, right? The little gem.
That gem in the corner.
Add 4 hex to an enemy. Passive is this card. If this card enters your discard pile directly from your deck, add 2 to the enemy. Whereas Y is you may remove any amount of hex from the enemy. Why would I want to do that? Oh, and gain a boon. I'll go with the V. So does this go back in the deck, or I just put it?
So that goes in a discard pile next to the growth deck. So you can't draw it again. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not an option anymore to get. So.
All right. Also,
and that V is actually going to replace a letter.
Oh, that is right. And I have to figure out which one, right?
Yeah. So it's tricky because you have to decide like, well, am I caring more about what letter it is or what the card itself does?
Okay, well, obviously the vowels are not even going to be considered.
Negotiable.
Oh, boy.
And you definitely want that I because it combos really well with your V.
I kind of feel like the H might have to go.
Yeah, I think H and B would be on the chopping block for me.
And this goes over here too, so I can't get that back either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Skye, you're hurting me, man.
I'm sorry.
Also, was it 2 mana? And
if there's anything mean in the game, it's Tim. It's not.
You know what? We'll go with that. we will go with that. All right, so we have to pick a new enemy, right?
Yep.
From the bottom. All right, the muscle. Okay. And with the muscle, I get to use an E as a wild.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Quick question, though.
Yeah.
At what point did each enemy or boss giving you a vowel come into play?
I think so. We had the wild card from pretty early on. Because I mean, you always just need a little flexibility with a game like this when you're drawing random cards. But the vowels were because I think it was when we went down from 5 card hands to 4. We just wanted to make sure there was that little bit of even more flexibility. And we kind of like the idea of it's like this enemy's weak spot, you know, and every enemy has a weakness, and so we wanted to kind of add that to it. So yeah, so we decided, you know, Val plus a wild means there's usually always at least one option, no matter what cards you draw. So.
Okay, so the muscle, their first attack is I block 2, and I gain 2 boon counters. And that's the wind up, and then their second move is right hook, which is I deal damage. I deal 1 damage, and then gain a boon counter.
Yeah, and then that yellow box on the bottom, their special rule, that's going to tell you what they do with their hex counters or with their boon counters. Usually.
It's called strength, which makes sense. It's the muscle, and this is for every boon counter on me, add 1 damage to my attacks. Ooh, that could be tricky. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, gosh. Looks like I'm spelling the word via.
Yeah.
That's... I don't know if there's anything... I don't know if Viva or Biva is a word. Or,
Not that I know of.
Is Bavi a word? Like, what
Probably in a different language.
That was very Bavi of you. I don't know what that is. So. Hopefully I
the Via though is interesting because that does get the V as your top card, which means you can fatigue it and not worry about it, and also you're going to get a pretty good ability on it. So
yeah. Although if the A was on top, I gained 3 mana, but yeah.
True.
But
you did start with 2 mana and 2 boon counters, which is nice because of that reward card. So.
All right. They don't do any healing, so I have different things. I have to worry about the muscles boon counter because that's gonna increase and create problems for me. All right, so I'm gonna go with Via, which means I'm using everything on the right side. So that's gonna be actually let me figure out what I'm doing here first.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend the rest of my mana to use the poison dagger and add 2 hexes to the muscle.
Okay.
And all right, so that. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. But that doesn't do anything for me for Venom Vial this round because I don't have anything.
Yeah, not this turn, but hopefully in future turns, you know, you'll be able to use it. So, because the hex counters stay, you know, until the enemy's defeated. So.
Yeah. All right, so now I gain 3 mana because of the manas on the card, and I'm gonna get 3 attack, but they block 2, so I really just get 1.
Yeah.
Oof. Wow. All right, so that V is fatigued.
Yeah. What was the ability on that V? So it had a passive effect, but there was another effect too.
Oh, it was add 4, so that's up to 6 now.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I'm gonna need 3 mana to even use that, but I have 3 because of the card, so that's good. And the passive is this card enters your discard pile directly. That's moot because it's going into it's fatigued anyway. All right, so the muscle is gonna hit me.
Or he just blocked, right?
Oh yeah, he blocked 2 of it, so.
But then he gets how many boom counters?
I guess I really should have done all 3, and then with the blocking, I would have, I guess, gone down. Just reversed it.
That's how you want to do it. Yeah. I mean, I usually just subtract, their block from my attack. But yeah, whatever makes more sense for you.
Yeah. And then I'm going to gain 2 boon counters. Well, they are. So they're up to 2. And that's the turn. Oh, for every boon counter on me. Oh, that wouldn't happen until the next attack.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I have some time. All right, so we got the next 4 here.
Yeah, and so you didn't use your wild, so you can go ahead and grab another mana.
True.
And then that chevron would go down just to the next action. With the 2 actions, it's usually pretty easy to remember what he did last, but yeah, when it gets more complex, it's good to keep that moving.
So, all right, they have 6. What am I gonna do here? Well, part of me feels like I should probably use the basic buckler so I can protect myself from some of their attack.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to point out, just because we haven't had boon counters yet. So you have those boon counters, and you can use those with your dashing boots. So it might be worth looking into like how much damage the muscle will do, and see if your dashing boots will take care of it.
If an enemy attack would do 3 or less damage to you after blocks, remove 1 boon and deal 0. And it deals 0 damage instead. What is that? Remove 1 boon from me, right?
Yeah, so you get rid of one of your boons, and if the attack is 3 or less, then it just does 0 instead.
Okay, they're going to do 1 and then gain a boon counter. So they're going to do 3 exactly. So that's 3 or less. So the dashing boots would definitely come into play.
Yeah. So in this case, maybe you don't use your buckler just because you know you've got the dashing boots to take care of it.
You're probably right. I'll go back up to 4 on that. So, yeah. So basically, I'm basically dodging their attack.
Yep. So you're kind of resting easy, and you can just focus on offense.
Okay. Cool. So that's it.
Yep. Right. But you still have your word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you still.
So I was kind of skipping ahead then.
Yeah, you're thinking ahead, but that's what you're gonna do to defend. But what are you doing with your hand?
So I have the word. Oh, I've rest. So let's see. But how do I want to do it? R on top or T on top? I don't really need to block right now, but if I add more. I have 4 mana, so which I could do a lot more damage with that as well. But that happens after the fact anyway, though, right?
Which one? So you use all your items before you lock in your word. Okay. So it goes the prep phase where you're kind of planning out your word, and that's when you use all your items. And then use your word, you add up all your hits. That goes against the enemy, and then the enemy does its action against you. So that's kind of the rough order of how everything fits.
I'm trying to figure out how much damage I can do, because if I use... right now I could do 6 damage. It'll cost me 3 mana. I'll be down to 1. But I don't have enough to use the poison dagger and then do the next level of damage because I only have 1 mana left.
Yeah, you're just right out of range.
So at this point, I'm just gonna use I'll use 3 to do the 6.
Yeah.
So
good call.
And now they're down to 7, I believe. I'm at 2 for that. Okay. And that's the question, though. I think I kind of want to go to the others. Well, I don't know. I don't really need to add any protection right now because they're not going to do any attack. Because I did the dashing boost after the fact to defend from the right hook, which means they're back up to the wind up, which doesn't attack me. So the question is, do I want to use the R to add 3 shield? I don't need this right now, or do I want to use this and then add?
Yeah, so just to keep things clear here. So you haven't quite used the dashing boots yet, and the enemy is still on their right hook attack. Oh. So that was just kind of planning ahead, like we know we can block it later. And that's why it has the reactive tag on it. Those are the only items that don't happen like before in the planning phase. Oh. So that was just kind of planning ahead. So he's still on his right hook. He's still going to do 3 damage to you, but you just know in your back pocket, okay, I'm going to use the dashing boots to block that, so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So you can, but yeah, so you're still on those 4 letters.
Okay, so I still do want to attack.
Yeah, you're still on that.
So attacking still makes sense.
Yeah, it still makes sense. Yeah. And yeah, the R ability maybe doesn't go off, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Or well, it goes off, but it's not useful.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to be used. I'm gonna do 4 damage to him and get 2 mana. So I'll go back up to 3 on that.
Yep.
And he's gonna go down to 3.
Okay. So
Well, he or she. I don't know. I keep saying he. It could be.
It's
it
true.
could
We
be-
don't have the art, so that's not up to you. Yeah. The muscle. This is going to be like a kind of mafia,
I'll just say
goon, big bouncer looking guy kind of thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So the R is going to get fatigued. Even though it wasn't really used, and those go over there. And I gained all this stuff from that.
Yep.
All right, so the dashing boost is reactive. That's sort of what I set up to do. That's a nice evade. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that moves your boon counter just down 1 because that's the kind of resource for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does cost you something. No mana, but yeah, definitely want to get the boon for that. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty nuts.
Didn't use the wild card, so I gain that as well. All right.
Nice.
So I have to reshuffle these and deal out 2 more cards. You didn't see me look at those. All right. Oh gosh. Well, here we go. The word bend.
So he'll be back up to his block 2. But yeah, if he's just at that 3 HP on this first stage, so if you can just get enough damage in, or you can stun him.
So I'm probably just gonna go to the right side because that just makes sense. But I don't think I'll need to use anything here. Well, that's the thing. Damage I do can spill over to the next.
True, and he's also gonna block a bit of your damage, so you want to make sure.
Yeah, I want to.
You're thinking about that too.
That's a good point.
But yeah, since the damage always spills, it's usually just good to get as much as you can in. So.
I'm still at the 6, right? Or does that?
Yep.
So I'm still at 6. So
yeah, and actually, so the Venom Vial, it does, whenever you use it, it does move down your hex counter 1. So technically, you'd be at 5. So that's what it reads in the text there. It just says you move the hex counter down 1 when you use it.
So I'd be at 4 then, right?
No, not the mana, just the hex counter itself. So the purple for the muscle would go down to the 5. The 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you're spending a little bit of the poison, but you still got a bunch of poison in there. So.
Oh, okay. It says then remove 1. Okay. So you're doing progressively less damage unless you raise it through other means.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do the Venom Vial, which is going to cost me. He's at 5. That's going to cost me 2 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm at 2, and that's going to do 5 damage.
Yeah, and the Venom Vial specifically does say lose HP, so it does ignore those blocks he's trying to do. So it just goes straight through it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. So if he's gonna flip over and then lose.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go back up to 8 and then lose an additional 2.
Yep. And now he's stunned, so he's not even trying to block now. He's just stunned.
Okay.
So he's gonna take the full force of your bend, your 4 hits. So yeah, that was really good.
But then I'm gonna go down to 4 on the hex because of the Venom Vial. Okay. So then he's gonna lose an additional 4.
Yeah. So he's on the ropes now.
And there's no block or anything on this one, so he's pretty much done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh no, wait a minute. Am I confusing? Oh no, I'm at 6. So he's
he's not dead, but he's not looking
on his
good.
way. And then I'm gonna get 2 more mana because of the mana here.
Mm-hmm.
And
you draw the 1 more card next hand. I don't know if you'll need it, but yeah.
We shall see. All right, and is he stunned now?
Yeah, so that's where he was stunned, so he didn't do his attack. So now
it's back to me.
Yeah, at the end of the turn, you draw your cards again, and yeah. So yeah, he's just at that 2 health now.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter what I do here. Well, it does. Well, I'll just do sat.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He doesn't block anything on the stage,
Yeah.
too. And none of the flavor text matters because he's just going to be defeated. And even the mana gain doesn't matter because it's going to reset anyway.
Correct.
So,
Yep, so he's gone.
do you want to do the defeated sound? You want me to do it? Or is that just...
Muscle, I'll go for it.
Okay. That was good. That was better than I was going to do. So I'm glad I asked you. All right.
Okay, so we get another reward card.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Let's take one from the bottom. Draw 2 cards and choose one to replace a non-penalty card in your deck. Draw 2 items, keep 1, draw 1 random MacGuffin. Take 3 damage. Oof. Okay. Draw 3 cards, choose one to replace non-penalty card, upgrade that card, repeat 2 steps above. Okay, so I get 2 cards and get to upgrade them. Or, yeah, but I feel like I need to get some items in there too. Gotta get some, but taking 3
well, you
damage.
didn't take any damage last fight.
Yeah, so I mean, I can go down to 17. The muscle's out of here.
Yeah, he's out of here.
You're done. No penalty card yet. That's good.
Yeah, that's been good.
Okay, so let's see what. I don't know if V is going to be long for this world. Let's see what. let's see what we get.
Okay.
I don't know how long V is going to stick around.
You can always replace him right away. There's no rule against that.
Okay, I already shuffled them. So take 2 cards and choose 1.
Okay, those letters are looking better.
Okay, a D and an R. All right, I have a D and an R. But are they as good? They are, well, they're more attack heavy.
Yeah, they're usually going to have at least one more icon. But
if your word has less than 3 letters, double your attack. Oh yeah, that R is definitely going somewhere. Oh, my attack or shield. Yeah, I'll do that. Draw 2 cards, place 1. So that's over there. Draw 2 items. I don't know if I shuffled these up or not.
Yeah, I think you shuffled them a bit when you put those extra rogue items in, the damsel items.
Okay. Oh, draw 2. Let's see. Plot armor. It's cost 3 mana. If I could pick it up. Oh, this table irks me. Ah, there we go. All right, we have a blowgun. Costs 1 mana. Add a hex counter to an enemy. Okay, that seems pretty cool. And plot armor costs 3 mana. Gain 1 shield for each letter of your word this turn. Okay, so if I go attack heavy, I can still do some. I can still protect myself. So I can spend a little mana to not have to make the choice between offense and defense.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Cool.
So, put that to the side. And then choose 1 random MacGuffin. Yeah.
And then all the MacGuffins are always 2-sided, so you just get to choose which side you want to kind of use.
My eyes are closed. I have no idea what this is. So, Pocket Watch Chain. At start of battle, gain 2 mana. Or Ornate Comb. The first time each battle you shuffle your deck. First, okay, I gain 3 mana for shuffling my deck.
Yeah, so it's either that 2 mana right at the start, or do you wait a little bit longer to shuffle your deck?
I'm going to go with the Ornate Comb because, either the deck it hasn't grown that much, really, or hasn't grown at all. I've been replacing.
Yeah, it doesn't grow until you face a boss. That's what lets you actually add.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Ornate Comb on that one.
Okay.
Just makes sense. I took the damage already.
Yep.
And let's see. Stage 1.
Oh, so you're going off against a boss now.
Oh.
So it's always two enemies.
2 and a boss. Okay.
And then a boss.
I'm glad you're here. I did not realize that. And I want to keep everything all even and neat. It just never stays like that. It just gets all.
Yeah. I think you're looking pretty good here, though.
Helter Skelter. So I don't know which one is which. My eyes are closed. And let's see what we got. We got the Buccaneer.
Okay, Buccaneer. Well, penalty cards are going to be coming now.
Yeah, they will. So stage 12. Sorry, 12 health. And all right, so she has the Swig of Grog. I deal 3 damage and add a penalty card to your discard pile. Ooh. Cross Sabers. I block 4. I block 8 instead if a penalty card is in your hand. And then Flintlock. I deal 8 damage. I do get an A though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where's A? Okay, so there's A. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this goes away, and I'm at 17.
Yep.
And I think it's the first enemy / boss that has 3 different attacks.
Yep. Yep. The max of 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is a word, right?
Yep. I. Oh, I don't know about veer.
That's 2 E's. That's V.
Yeah, that's 2 E's. But the by was a word.
Yeah. Or I could use the wild and spell river, but I don't know what.
Oh, true. So yeah, I guess it comes down to what card you want on top.
Yeah.
You will get a few more icons out of river because you get to use all 4 cards.
This is a word, right?
Rive?
Is Rive a word? It's a video game. It's a word. It's something.
I'll look it up. We'll get the official ruling here.
If Skye says it, it must be true. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, Rive's in the Scrabble dictionary.
All right. So I can say.
I don't know what it means, but hey, it's a word.
Okay. Oh, well, what does it mean? It was a dictionary, right? What does it mean?
Well, that was just saying it was valid.
Okay.
But you can keep going with it.
If your word has less than 4 letters, double your attack. Oh, maybe I would be better off spelling. But what could I spell that?
It's to split or tear apart violently. So There you go. That's what Rive is.
And now, of course, I'm thinking, if I want to use this R to the fullest extent, it makes sense to have.
That's true.
This is less than 4.
Does the E on top do anything for you if you splay the
gain
other
a
way?
boon counter and draw 1 more card next hand.
Because she is looking to damage you a little bit, so blocking isn't useless, but.
I like going. I mean, if I can do, if I can somehow, well, obviously I can't do that. That's. Wait a minute. Rev, like to rev your engine.
Sure.
Yeah, that.
I'll count it.
Okay.
I'm pretty loosey goosey. Like if it's a word I would say, then.
I mean, is rev an abbreviation for another word?
It's not an It's a shortened.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not even shortened, is it? It's just a word.
It's just rev your engine.
Yeah, there's no longer word. So
cool. So yeah, if your word has less than 4, I can either double that or double that. Okay. I wish I could use this and then, protect myself somewhat, but let's see what happens. So I'm doing 10 damage then, essentially, right?
Yeah, you're just coming out swinging.
Okay, so she's down to 2. R gets fatigued. Oh, I gain 2 mana, 1 for the mana here, another for not using my wild.
Correct.
And the R gets fatigued, and these go over there. Okay. Oh, I'm moving ahead of myself. All right, Swig of Grog. I deal 3 damage and add a penalty card to your discard pile. Oof. Could I have used Dashing Boots? No, I don't have any boons, so.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 14 health, and I'm gonna shuffle these up.
Yep. So the penalty cards, those they go into your discard pile, and then they'll stay into your deck. You can't escape the bees.
Goodness, that's trash. Like, what am I doing?
Use your quirk.
Yeah, it's not the kids. Use your quirk. Use your quirk.
So the penalty cards, if you do manage to use them, that you do get rid of them. So that's the good thing. But
all right, so that's done. And okay. Now Nats is in the insect is GNA. It's GNATS, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Now, can I say Nats is in like, because I'm in the DC area. I live in Maryland, I'm in the DMV. Can I say Nats is short for the Nationals? The Nats? I don't know.
That's where it's up to you.
Ants. I could spell ants.
Ants would work.
Ants would work. That avoids all that. Tans. I don't know. Well, he tans frequently.
Yeah, like he tans in the sun.
Yeah, that works. But I kind of want to. I kind of want to have the N up front though, because the N adds 3 attack, which is very useful. True.
Now she's looking to block, right?
I block 4. I block 8. If you're putting up, well, in my hand, it's in the.
Yes,
this is not in my hand. Thank God.
Yeah. You would need, if you do want to try and do damage, you probably do have to have the N on top. Otherwise, you won't be able to break through. Or you could just kind of focus on if there's something that adds mana or hex counters. Like that's also a good option when the enemy's blocking.
True. All right, I have 2 mana, so. If I use the. Well. Okay, yeah, she's gonna hit me. Block. Oh, all she does is block this time, right?
Correct.
So I'm not worried about plot armor. I'm not worried about the buckler. If I use 2 mana to use the poison dagger, that's more of a strategic move, not tactical, because I wouldn't have enough mana to use the venom vial right now anyway.
Yeah, it'd be a planning ahead thing.
Yeah, which isn't bad. It's I'll do. Maybe I might want to save that. I'm not using this, which would give me 3, which might put me in a better. Which gives me options to use the plot armor or the basic buckler.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold off on that.
Okay.
You didn't seem like you were really being a stickler over.
I'm not a stickler, but I think the rules would be. I know the rule in Paperback, the only one was no proper nouns. And so the Nats would be kind of like a proper noun.
That would be a proper noun.
Now, you did mention the insect, though. So this is what we can do. If you use the wild card to add that G, what happens with, if the wild card's on top, you ignore it and do the thing underneath.
Still do the thing under it. So I don't gain the 1 mana, but I'll still get 2 anyway. So I'll still have the option of all of my different things regardless.
And then you get to use that N ability, and that's the card that gets fatigued as well.
It does. All right, so that's going to do 7 damage, 4 here, 3 because of the N. So
7 minus 4, which
right. Oh,
but that's still enough to stun her. So
yeah. So I'm really only doing 3 damage then, right?
Yep.
So 1, 2. She goes up to 16, so she's at 15.
Yep, you got it.
That's not terrible.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and so that was her stun. So now she goes back to, for this next turn, she'll go back to her first action.
That is right. So I avoid taking 10 damage, which is probably good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so back to me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how many hours did you say you spent watching other people play this game?
A lot.
Okay.
But you know what? I enjoy it. I really love word games, and I love roguelikes and just seeing the crazy combos that can happen. So I'm not bored yet. Don't forget you have that ornate comb. Because you shuffled your deck.
Shuffle, gain 3. I completely forgot about all that.
Yeah, some of the shuffle your deck ones can be hard to remember. So
she's gonna do 5 damage and add a penalty card. So that's not good. Okay. She's at 15. Enemies at 4 health or stunned at 4. Is she still stunned now or no?
She's not stunned anymore.
So this D won't do anything.
No.
And she's not at full health because I took one off. Dang.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let's see. If I put the B up front, I get to take an extra card.
Yeah, that's always good.
So if I do bats. Oh, what's this though? Add hex to an enemy if you splayed right. Add 3 instead. So if I spelled stab instead.
Correct, yeah.
Then
you get that extra bonus.
I get the extra bonus. All right. What do I want to do here? Now for plot armor, it says gain a shield for each letter in your word on your word's turn. Do everything counts, right?
Yeah, all letters. So wilds, vowels, yeah.
Okay, so that'll protect me from 4, so I'd be protected from all but 1 of damage. Or I could spend 3 mana. I'm sorry, I could spend 2 and then gain 3. What do I want to do here? I'm at 5, which means I could start using the poison dagger at this point. What to do? All right, I'm gonna spend 2 to go up to 2 on the hex.
All right,
and
I like it.
That means that I'm gonna do 2 damage to her, but it's also gonna cost me.
If you want to use the venom vial, you can always just add the hexes and wait for later if you prefer. So it's up to you.
I'll take the hint and wait for later. 2. No. And then I'm just going to use 2 more to gain 3. So I'm going to take another additional hit, unfortunately. So that's the planning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Planning phase with the items.
3 shield. Okay, so add hex to an enemy. If you play it right, add 3. So just going to go up to 5. Now, that happens after all of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do more damage later, even more.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do 3 damage. So now she's at 12, and I gain 2 of those.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The A goes back. S is fatigued. These go into the discard.
Yep. And then she does her attack.
And she does 5 damage as a penalty card, but because I have protection of 3, she only does 2, so I'm at 12.
Yep.
And she's going to add a J. Oh, good old J. J's in every word.
The lovely J.
The lovely J. Just, you know what? You all should make it a lowercase J just to be that much more annoying. Just make it.
I'll talk to Tim about that.
He was probably going to say no, but whatever. Really?
Oh, no.
Really?
A double V.
Vave.
Oh wow! Actually, yeah.
Well, I could do
stuff you can do there.
Can I have? Does it have to be English? Does it? I mean, I could do Viva, right?
Does have to be English.
Oh crap!
But I think you got some stuff here. When I saw the 2 V's, I was like, oh no! But I think there's some options.
So if I'm using the wild, then I could spell something like have, I guess. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Or save, or it could be anything, really.
Yeah.
This is in your hand. At the end of your turn, enemy heals 1. Oh, I have to do this now, don't I?
Yeah, or you just take the penalty. But
oh, if it's in my, wait a minute. If it's in my hand, well, it won't be in my hand, right?
So if you don't use it in your word, you'll get the penalty. But if you do put it in your word, then it just goes away and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Do significantly less damage, though.
True.
Yeah, but I want to get rid of it. It's a penalty. Plus, coming up, she's going to block 8 if I have a penalty card in my hand, right? Oh, it won't make any... that's going to happen regardless, it looks like.
Yeah, so actually right now she's just blocking. So now if you get the V into your word, then it won't be in your hand, so she won't be blocking for as much.
That's true. I'm only doing...
Yeah, you might not do enough damage anyway, but that's how that interacts.
I'm doing 2 here, plus I can do 5 because of the hexes. It's going to cost me 2 mana.
Yep.
Well, I'm trying to think, should I save that? Because she'll block, I mean, that's 7. So she take 3.
She'll the Venom Vial does do the kind of go through blocks because it's the loses HP. So you can ignore her blocks for that.
Oh. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to hang on. I'm not going to, well, since it's ignoring blocks, I could spend those 2. She goes up to 7 on the hexes.
Yeah, but then
I don't have enough money to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just do the 5.
Okay.
And it's going to cost me, it's going to cost me 2 anyway, so I'm already down here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 5, so now she's at 7. Okay, then I do 2. Oh, these are just regular, so she's going to block.
Yeah, that does get blocked.
Yeah, that's.
But you do get the top card, the A, because the wild was on top.
Yep. So I gain 3, and I gain another 2 because another 1.
1, yeah.
So what am I at, 5?
Yep.
I'm losing myself here.
Yeah.
This goes over here. This is out of the game, right?
Yep. So put that by the penalty cards. Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. This goes back up here, and then these go here. All right. Yep. So now.
And she just blocked.
Yeah,
so
she just
didn't
blocks.
do anything.
So then, that's what she'll do next. One, 2, 3. Oh, great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I went to the Jitiv, yes. Were you at the Jitiv as well?
Yeah, I did some curls at the Jitiv and...
Hand me that Jitiv over there. No, the other Jitiv. The Jitiv behind, the big Jitiv. Okay. Oh, this Jitiv? That Jitiv. Okay. I could spell a word like jive, too, so...
Yeah.
And then get it out of here. So that's a thing. Also, penalties, if they're the first, you still go to the second.
So penalties, the way they work is that is the card that gets fatigued. But when it gets played, it just goes out of goes to the discard pile anyway. The penalty card discard pile. So essentially, if that was on top, you wouldn't fatigue any card and you wouldn't get any ability. If that makes sense.
This just gets removed, but I don't get to use the eye because it's blocking it. Okay. Yeah. It could be worse. I have a bunch of mana here. She has 7. Probably behoove me. She's not blocking this time around. I probably should be doing some blocking, but that's not really going to happen. Well, let me see.
Yeah.
If I do most of my damage from my items, then I can stave off some of her damage. Then that might be a better move to make.
Yeah.
Oh, so if I do it this way, the J still goes away, but then I get to use this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to... All right, she's at 5. It's going to cost me 2 mana to do the 5 damage, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm at 3. So now she's at 2. Okay. No, I'm wondering though. No, I wouldn't have. If I went up to 7 using the poison dagger, would I have had enough?
You had 5 total mana.
Yeah. So it cost me 2 for that, and then 3. So yeah, that would have made more sense. So if I did that,
then, she would have been at 7, and boom.
Yeah.
Take her out. Don't even worry about it.
That's game right there.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So the game's kind of divided into, a full run is being able to beat, 2 book 1 enemies and a book 1 boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trilogy, and then you do the same thing for book 2 and book 3. And we're kind of encouraging, a session could just be, beating 1 book. And if you want to power through and go the whole way, like, go for it. But yeah, just to get kind of that nice 45-minute to an hour kind of time period. So let's make sure we do your boss rewards to see how that works. And then if you want to keep going and you want me here cheering you on, I can do that, or we can stop at book 1 or whatever you think works best.
So if I get these rewards, I'm keeping my deck to the side to continue on for book 2, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the full version of the game, we want to have kind of a fancy save game feature that kind of keeps all your items, your MacGuffins, your deck kind of separate from everything else.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely continue this on. So I get these back. So basically let me slow down. It's whatever I decide to get from here. Yeah, after this, I'm probably gonna stop for a moment, and then I will resume at a later date.
Sounds good.
All right, so the boss rewards. Draw 3 cards, choose 1 to add to your deck.
Yeah, so notice that this one does say add instead of replace.
Yes, it does. Draw a card at random and then add it to your deck. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not replacing, so it doesn't matter. You just said that.
Yep.
Upgrade a core item. How do you...
Yeah, so that'd be either your Venom Vial, your Dashing Boots, or your Wild Card would get upgraded.
Okay. Interesting. Heal 12. Oh, going between books, your health will stay the same even if you didn't do anything, right?
Yeah, but you do get a pretty big heal, after any boss fight.
Oh, okay. All right. That's pretty enticing. My other option is to draw 3 cards, add 1, upgrade a core item, heal 10, upgrade 2 cards. So the real trade-off is I'm getting a little bit less health, a little more health, but I get another card.
Yeah, it's like 1 more upgrade or 1 more card.
I'm going to choose another card.
Okay.
So I'm going to draw 3 and choose 1. So I have an A. If you have no shields in your word, gain 4 mana. Critical hit, add 5 if there are no cards left in your hand. Ooh. And then L is for every card in your discard pile. Add, I like that. I like that L.
Okay.
Although getting another vowel sounds nice too, but can't win them all. And then choose a random.
Yeah, so this one's just random and it goes into your deck.
I mean, would you just take it from the top of the deck?
Yep. Yeah,
that makes sense. Oh, a W. That's not as bad as a V, but
no.
Okay. All right, this says compare attack and mana, whichever symbol you have less of, make it equal to the other value.
Yeah, that card's pretty good.
Slick.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Upgrade a core item. So the upgrade wild card is gain up to 2 letters of your choice or 2 mana. That's enticing. The Venom Vial upgrade is upgraded. Enemy loses HP equals to the number of hex. And then it just costs me less to do it?
Yeah, so if you look at the kind of chart, it costs less mana overall. So
that's Dashing Boots. If an enemy attack will do 5 or less damage to you after blocks, remove a boon and it deals. I didn't use this a lot, but I can see this being, I can see just evading an attack entirely being quite useful.
Yeah. Yeah, the trick with the boots is if you can make boon counters so that you can
This is a tough choice here.
That's what we're going for. One thing to help, just the wildcard upgraded, that is 2 letters next to each other. And it does explain that on the flip side, I think. But the 2 letters you add
have to be next to each other.
Have to be next, yeah.
That will work well with cards that say for every letter.
True, like your plot armor or things like that.
Ooh, yeah. These are some tough choices. What would you do?
That's a good question. I would hesitate on the dashing boots personally until I feel like I have one more card that helps me get boon counters, because I think right now you only have 1 card that does that. The Venom Vial, it's always good, but you've seemed to have been making pretty good mana regardless. You haven't been too strapped for mana. The wild card upgrade does kind of have that cool interaction with the plot armor. So I definitely kind of like that, but yeah, I'd say it comes down to either wild card or Venom Vial for me. I'd be pretty torn. I'd probably do wild card just because I like making longer words. It's fun, but I don't know if that's the smart choice or just the fun choice.
I'm gonna go with that as well. That's what I was really leaning. It was really between these two, the Venom Vial.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. I just gotta make sure I keep it all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would, the next fight, you'd start out with a book 2 enemy. You'd face 2 book 2 enemies and then a book 2 boss. And just like any other fight, you start back at 0 hex, boon, and mana. And then, but you would have healed all the way up to 20. So
yeah, I'd definitely be at 20 again. So I have to make sure I can just keep this all together. So
yeah. So we just now, it's just some way to keep it together where it's like a bag or something. But
yeah, I'll just put it in like a sandwich. Yeah. I say I have snack bags. I put it in the snack bag.
Yeah, and I'd say technically the A's and stuff those wouldn't be available anymore. The cards next to your growth deck, the big deck.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's really that important. If they get shuffled in, it's not going to break the game or anything. So,
I'll put them with the bosses I defeated. That way I know.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah,
is
that's
out.
a good call.
And the blowgun is out too, right?
Yeah, that would technically be out too.
Yeah.
So, that's Paperback Adventures. Thanks for letting me play along with you. It's always fun. It really is. I love watching people play.
Appreciate you hanging out and giving me all the tips and subtly I would do this.
So. Well, hopefully I wasn't overbearing.
No, not at all. Not at all. This was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this game.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for playing it, Aaron. This was really fun.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Skye.
Yeah, no problem. I'll talk to you later, okay? Right. And just ask me or Tim any questions if you do have them. We're happy to help.
Will do. Thanks again.
Okay. You have a nice night.
You do the same.